What happens when a celebrity live stream turns into a full-blown drama? Ray J and Sheila went live, emotions ran high, and things got completely out of control. Sheila's shocking past with Kevin Gates comes back into the spotlight, exposing heartbreak, betrayal, and a messy cycle of fame, clout, and relationships. From shocking revelations to emotional confrontations, this story isn't just gossip, it's a real glimpse into the highs and lows of modern celebrity life. Stick around, because what unfolds will leave you speechless. Since Ray J has essentially stepped away from producing music and maintaining a consistent presence in the recording world, he has shifted his energy towards something that almost every major public figure seems to be chasing today: streaming. The digital landscape has changed drastically over the last few years, and streaming platforms have become the new stage for celebrities who want to remain relevant or reinvent themselves. For Ray J, someone who has always been business-minded and able to adapt to new trends, this pivot makes perfect sense. Rather than fading into the background, he's decided to jump headfirst into a space that rewards personality, unpredictability, and consistent engagement. This also explains why he's been actively trying to collaborate with major streamers like DDG and Kai Cenat. These two young creators dominate the modern content scene, and being seen with them instantly boosts visibility, reshapes public perception, and strengthens one's digital footprint. Ray J knows that aligning with them helps him tap into younger audiences, generate new buzz, and secure another bag outside of music. His recent drama with figures like Aaron the Plumber only added more fuel to the fire. Even though the situation wasn't necessarily flattering, controversy tends to work like free promotion in the online world. The more people talk, the more the algorithms push the content, and the more clout someone gains, whether intentionally or not. This sudden spike in attention allowed Ray J to reposition himself as someone worth watching again. And in the midst of all this, he introduced a new romantic interest to the public, a woman named Sheila. She appears to be of Middle Eastern or Persian descent, and she fits neatly into the modern influencer aesthetic: curvy, glamorous, camera-ready, and styled to perfection. Her presence around Ray J instantly sparked conversations, especially given how quickly she became a recurring figure in his content. But what makes Sheila's appearance particularly interesting is how her story connects to another celebrity who has recently dominated headlines: Kevin Gates. Not too long ago, Gates went viral for a bold statement that caught the attention of social media. In his usual unfiltered style, he declared that he had no interest in dating older or washed-up women, insisting he preferred someone younger. The comments stirred up debate online, but it also highlighted a pattern that fans of Kevin Gates were already familiar with: his tendency to cycle through romantic partners at a rapid pace. The woman currently seen beside him, Galini Tejada, is just the latest in that rotation. Observers speculate that she probably won't be around for too long, because Gates rarely stays with one woman for more than a few months. What many people don't realize is that just a year ago, the woman holding that position in his life was none other than Sheila. Their relationship was chaotic, public, and ultimately short-lived. Gates became involved with her, enjoyed her company, and then abruptly discarded her, moving on without much explanation. Sheila was left feeling hurt and humiliated, especially because of how quickly he replaced her with someone new. The experience pushed her to the edge emotionally, and she eventually took to social media to voice her frustration and clear her name. One of the main things she emphasized was that she would never knowingly be with a married man. According to her, Kevin Gates insisted he was legally separated from his wife, which made her believe their relationship wasn't crossing any moral lines. She felt the need to publicly clarify this because many people were labeling her as a homewrecker. In her emotional statement, Sheila explained that she wasn't trying to start drama or tear anyone down. She simply wanted to express her side of the story and validate her own feelings. She believed she had every right to speak up about what happened to her, especially given how confusing and painful the situation had been. More importantly, she wanted other women who might be dealing with similar circumstances, whether with celebrities, influencers, or everyday men, to know that it's okay to stand up for themselves. She encouraged them to trust their instincts, set boundaries, and refuse to stay silent when someone mistreats them. Her message resonated with many viewers who felt she had been manipulated and taken advantage of. This entire situation, not just with Ray J, but with Kevin Gates as well, highlights the complex and often messy world of modern celebrity relationships. The lines between personal life and public entertainment have blurred so much that many people get caught in emotional crossfires they never expected. Sheila's story, now intertwined with two well-known public figures, shows how quickly someone can be elevated and discarded in the digital age. One moment she's appearing in music videos, live streams, and viral clips, The next moment she's left defending her character to millions of strangers. Through it all, she continues trying to navigate a world where visibility brings both opportunity and heartbreak, proving that the glitz of influencer culture often hides a much more complicated reality. Sheila went on to express how exhausted she is with men who manipulate, gaslight, and lie, saying she's completely fed up with the way Kevin Gates strung her along. At first, she believed everything he told her, but over time she began to notice all the red flags. She admitted she knew what came with dating a rapper. Other women are always around, but the way he handled their situation felt especially disrespectful. She was hurt even more when Brittany Renner briefly became Kevin Gates' wife, a marriage that lasted only 5 days, and it was wild to see Brittany reappear publicly after having cried over Kevin just months earlier. Now, though, Sheila has moved into trolling mode, cracking jokes on stream about how she tried to make him feel good and rubbed his back, only for him to act like she never did anything for him. She mocked the situation further, saying she couldn't believe she let another woman claim she had touched him in ways she never had, even joking about smelling her own hand on camera to play along with the trolling. She laughed about looking like Saucy Santana's cousin on stream and then bluntly added that based on how his body smelled, it was pretty obvious he hadn't even showered. Sheila later made an appearance on Ray J's live stream, and while not every moment of the broadcast was shown to the public, those who watched witnessed behavior that left little to the imagination. Sheila seemed determined to capture attention at any cost, going as far as to literally sniff Ray J's private area on camera, a shocking moment that underscored the lengths some influencers or public figures will go to remain relevant or provoke views. It was an extreme example of the performance-driven culture that dominates modern social media, where anything that generates reactions, whether shock, humor, or controversy, is considered content. Sheila's actions, while controversial, also highlighted the pressures that come with being constantly in the public eye, where fans and followers expect drama, entertainment, and spectacle at all times. She stayed on the stream throughout the evening, fully engaged, until Ray J finally decided to have a serious, heartfelt conversation with her, one that revealed a more vulnerable and human side to their relationship. During this private moment, Ray J opened up and explained his feelings with surprising honesty. He told Sheila that, despite their closeness and the bond they had formed over time, he still wanted to prioritize his children and their mother. The responsibilities and emotional weight of co-parenting had become overwhelming, and he admitted he was exhausted from the constant chaos that comes with navigating life in the public eye. The stress of being recognized everywhere, of managing multiple relationships, and of maintaining a public persona had taken its toll on him. He reassured Sheila that she was incredibly important to him, that he loved her, and that he valued her as one of his closest friends, but he also emphasized that he needed to find balance in his life. He spoke candidly about the practical realities of his lifestyle, mentioning the multiple houses he owned and suggesting that Sheila would be comfortable staying in one of them, yet making it clear that his priorities were focused elsewhere. Sheila, however, was not satisfied with mere practicality. She wanted more than a logistical solution. She wanted to feel special, valued, and treated like a princess. Her insistence reflected a desire for emotional security and recognition that went beyond material arrangements, and it also revealed the tension between public displays of affection and private desires. As the conversation continued, emotions ran high. Sheila became visibly upset, her vulnerability on full display as the chat reacted in real time, offering encouragement, sympathy, and sometimes judgment. Ray J, seeing her distress, tried to comfort her, reminding her that he didn't want to see her cry and that he cared deeply about her well-being. Despite his reassurances, the situation remained complicated and painful, as Sheila's feelings were entangled with a mix of love, frustration, and disappointment. The tension reached its peak when Ray J mentioned the possibility of returning to his ex-wife. Sheila's hurt was evident. She had invested emotionally in their connection, and hearing that he still had unresolved ties stirred feelings of betrayal and sadness. Even though Ray J emphasized that his feelings for Sheila were genuine and that he loved her, the reality of his intentions created an emotional conflict she could not easily reconcile. This interaction showcased the complexities of modern celebrity relationships, where the lines between personal emotions and public entertainment are blurred, and where every interaction is magnified by the presence of an online audience. The fact that this played out on a live stream added a layer of intensity, as Sheila's emotions, Ray J's explanations, and the reactions of viewers all converged in real time. From the perspective of the narrator, who has spent over a decade working on YouTube and in the entertainment industry, this scenario was far from unusual. The narrator has observed countless similar situations unfold over the years, where emotions, public exposure, and personal relationships collide in ways that are both dramatic and revealing. For those who work in or closely follow the industry, these interactions are familiar. Celebrities and influencers navigate a landscape where personal boundaries are tested, feelings are public property, and the pressure to entertain can sometimes override emotional considerations. Sheila's vulnerability, Ray J's candidness, and the chat's engagement all serve as a microcosm of the larger dynamics at play, illustrating how fame, attention, and emotion intersect in modern digital culture. What makes this particular moment notable is the convergence of human emotion with performative spectacle. Sheila's actions, extreme as they may have been, were influenced by the need to maintain visibility and relevance in a fast-moving online world. Ray J's honest dialogue with her demonstrated the challenges of balancing public expectations with private desires. And the narrator's reflection on the scene underscores a critical insight. While these interactions may seem shocking or salacious to outsiders, they are often part of a recurring pattern in the industry, where personal relationships are complicated by fame, audience pressure, and the relentless demand for content. Observing these dynamics over time allows one to understand not just the drama of a single stream, but the broader pressures and emotional tolls that come with living life in front of a constantly watching audience. In summary, Sheila's appearance on Ray J's stream, her emotional vulnerability, and his candid responses offer a revealing glimpse into the realities of modern celebrity relationships. They highlight the tension between public persona and private feelings, the emotional complexity behind seemingly outrageous actions, and the ways in which audience expectations shape behavior. From the narrator's decade-long perspective, this is not an isolated incident but rather a representative example of the patterns that define life in the digital spotlight, where love, attention, entertainment, and human emotion collide in ways that are sometimes messy, often dramatic, and always fascinating. Working within the African entertainment scene, particularly in East Africa, I've had a front-row seat to some of the wildest and most unpredictable dynamics behind the curtain. From Uganda to Kenya to Rwanda, the pace at which things move is staggering, and what you hear through gossip or online chatter often pales in comparison to witnessing events unfold in real time. It's one thing to read about women hopping from one man to another, but it hits differently when you see it firsthand. One day a woman is with a certain guy, perhaps at a hotel or attending an event, and by the next day, she's with someone completely different, behaving as if nothing had changed. The speed and frequency of these shifts can be shocking to outsiders, especially when you consider the cultural and social nuances at play, as well as the pressures these women face to maintain status, visibility, and opportunity. Many women in this industry are willing to go to extraordinary lengths to get ahead, even if it means embarrassing themselves or compromising their personal boundaries. It's not necessarily about them targeting me personally, but about the broader reality. They will throw themselves at anyone they believe can provide a platform, elevate their status, or open doors to opportunities they otherwise might not have. One moment, they might be crying over a failed connection or feeling emotionally drained by a relationship, and the next, they are off to a different city, or even another country, like Dubai, to engage with someone else entirely. It's a cycle of being used, discarded, and then restarting almost immediately, and the pace at which it happens leaves very little room for reflection or emotional recovery. Watching this pattern repeatedly, it becomes clear how quickly emotional entanglements can turn into public spectacle in a world where personal life is always under scrutiny. The reality is that taking someone like this seriously based solely on their appearance or superficial qualities is a huge mistake. Yes, they may be stunning, have a curvy figure, or exude confidence, but these outward traits often mask deeper emotional struggles. Many of these women are dealing with unresolved issues, past traumas, or insecurities, and they leverage attention, relationships, or social status as a means of coping or gaining validation. Clout, especially social media clout, is a powerful motivator. Instagram followers, likes, comments, and online validation can sometimes outweigh genuine connection, honesty, or emotional responsibility. Most men only see the curated, glamorous version of these women online, the photos, the videos, the filtered highlights, but behind the scenes, the reality is far more complex, nuanced, and sometimes messy. The emotional toll of this lifestyle is significant, not only for the women themselves but for those who engage with them. As an observer in the industry, I've seen countless men who approach these women with good intentions. They offer emotional support, opportunities, and even financial assistance, hoping to foster a meaningful relationship. Some are willing to invest time and energy, genuinely interested in getting to know the person beyond the surface. Yet, despite these efforts, these women often exploit such kindness, either consciously or unconsciously. They may take advantage of generosity, string along multiple partners, or pivot towards someone they perceive as having greater value, influence, or potential gain. And then, when these interactions don't yield the attention or recognition they desire, they act surprised, hurt, or even offended by the perceived unfairness of life. The cycle repeats, with new men entering the picture, only to experience the same pattern. What makes this culture particularly complex is how intertwined it is with digital exposure. In the age of social media, every move is amplified, every decision documented, and every emotional reaction open for public consumption. Women, and men, for that matter, are constantly aware of how their actions will be perceived online. This magnifies the stakes, turning ordinary interactions into high-pressure performances where appearance, attention, and reactions are everything. In many ways, the digital world fuels this rapid cycle of attachment, detachment, and spectacle. A single post, story, or video can alter public perception overnight, affecting reputations, relationships, and opportunities in real time. It's a world where vulnerability is often exploited and where emotional resilience is tested daily. Despite the chaotic nature of these interactions, there are valuable lessons to be observed. Understanding that appearances are rarely reflective of the full reality is crucial. Emotional intelligence, boundaries, and discernment become essential for anyone navigating this environment. Recognizing that someone may be struggling internally, seeking validation externally, or operating under the pressures of performance culture allows for more measured responses and reduces the likelihood of being caught in the cycle unawares. This perspective is essential not only for men interacting with these women but also for the women themselves, who must navigate the consequences of their choices and the long-term effects of using attention and relationships as currency. Ultimately, working in the African entertainment scene has shown me that the glamour and excitement of fame are only one part of the story. Behind every flashy post, viral video, or headline-grabbing encounter lies a more complicated reality, one filled with emotional complexity, strategic decision-making, and sometimes heartbreak. These women are ambitious, resilient, and resourceful, but they also face challenges that are invisible to the public eye. Observing this dynamic up close is both fascinating and sobering, providing insight into how fame, social media, and personal ambition intersect in ways that are rarely captured by surface-level narratives. It's a vivid reminder that what the audience sees is often only the tip of the iceberg, and the real stories behind these interactions are far richer, more complicated, and sometimes far more human than anyone realizes. These women will take money from good men who genuinely care about them, then immediately turn around and date someone who treats them terribly, jumping from one guy to the next without a pause. And once she finishes whatever situation she's having with Ray J, after he gets everything he wants out of her, if things go bad, she'll go public, claim she was mistreated, say he was unfair or dusty, and paint herself as the victim. Then she'll move on to the next man. And she'll keep repeating the cycle as long as she still looks good, because guys will continue to entertain her. And, as much as I hate to admit it, black men especially fall into this pattern. They'll watch a woman cause chaos and still try to play the hero for her. Anyway, that's the reality of it. This is your boy OD Jackson back again with another episode of the series. Catch you next time.